Hey sweetie fam, welcome back to my channel. I am Patra Denise, produced by Denise Productions, and your favorite plus size stylist is back with another one. And if you haven't been here before, go down to the subscribe button, click the bell so you can be notified. I do drop a video every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. On this channel, I create family, fashion, and lifestyle content, because this is a place to be for all of that and its own period. Something I have been itching to talk about is being an empty nester. I've said it a few times in my videos about me being an empty nester, and so a lot of you are like, what does that mean for you, so on and so forth. So we're gonna get into it, and this may not be for a lot of people. I get that, because you know, we all have different type of lifestyles. Let's just call it a thing, okay? However, why this is important to me is because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it came quicker than I thought it would be, but at the same token, I felt like it took forever. So let's just talk about what an empty nester means. When you hear people talk about, oh, I'm an empty nester, it's normally like parents who have children that no longer like live, as in this is their resident, no longer live in their home anymore. They may be gone off to college, so I mean if they're gone majority of the year, right, outside of, you know, maybe a weekend here or there, homecoming for like their high school, if they gotta come, if they choose to come back, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then Christmas break, which is about a month for college students, and so on and so forth, right? So with that being said, for me, when I say empty nesters, I don't even have a college student yet. My son is a senior. He's 17 years old. He is currently just like honestly gliding through his senior year, because he did what he was supposed to do freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and now he is literally taking classes like childcare. He got to bring the baby home so he can take care of the baby. Y'all know how that go, the little baby, okay? So that's what he is doing. And then you guys know I have a 9-year-old daughter, and then I have a 5-year-old daughter who just entered kindergarten this year. Like, this is her first year being in school all year, and it's a big deal because baby, she goes to the same school as her sister. So last year all 3 of my children were in school, but my youngest is only in school part day. So she went about noon to about 3:30-ish, and she caught the bus, so she would normally get home probably about 4 o'clock, right? And all 3 of my children were at different schools, so I had to push my schedule and stretch my schedule, because, or like change my schedule around, where I literally only had like 1 hour of like alone time, right? And these are the things you don't think about when you boop 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 in my Erica Kane voice. Y'all know what I mean? Right, exactly. When all that's going on, okay? You don't be thinking about that. Last year I had, like I said, I had 3 kids in 3 different schools, going to schools at 3 different times, coming home at 3 different times, okay? We had a preschooler, we had an elementary school student, and we had a high school student. So that was a whole thing, y'all. Like, it literally was a whole thing. So I was all over the place. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, felt like I was coming and going. Like, I didn't know what each day would always be like. So now, going into school year 2023 to 2024, you know, my son is a senior, so his schedule is very lackluster because he has met all his elective requirements. I didn't realize how interesting it was going to be being an empty nester. I started to talk about being an empty nester maybe like May, because I was like super excited. For me, I've been at home with my children for 10 years. I went home on bed rest in the middle of August, because my oldest daughter, who I was pregnant at the time, they could not find the valves of her heart on the ultrasound. Okay? Yeah. So obviously that's super scary, and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, right? So being that was my situation, they put me on bed rest until, you know, we could see what was going on. Baby was still moving and grooving and thumping and, you know, all of the things, but they put me on bed rest. At that time, I was the manager at Icings. So I've been at home since September, or technically August of 2013. I had my baby in November. We moved to Nashville, to Nashville in July 2014. So I just stayed home because we knew once we had Sydney that we were not going to stay in this state of Illinois. Yeah, we knew. Well, at least we weren't going to live in Champaign anymore. So with that being said, we decided to move to Nashville, and then that's what we did. Y'all know I lived in Nashville for about 6 or 7 years. That's that. Also, just to let y'all know, what I do a lot of times, y'all, which is so bad, is I stack all my jewelry right here. All my jewelry, necklaces, earrings, all that. And so my Apple Watches, I literally just take them off and put them right here. And so I'm just adding all the stuff back to my armoire because it needs to be done. Even though I started working for Cigna, I did work in office for 6 months. So from February 2015 to October 2015, I worked in office. But then like a week and a half before Halloween, I ended up going home to work. So at that point, I worked from home. So outside of those 6 months that I worked in office, and I would go in office like as I needed, I always worked from home. So my kids stayed home with me. Terrell was going to school because he was, school age. Sydney was not. Then in 2016, we decided to have another baby, and I worked from home then as well. So I worked from home. That's just what it was. I worked from home. And then I left Cigna in December of 2009, pretty much Jane. I literally stopped work, I think December 27th or 29th. So it was pretty much like, and we were going to be off for like the next few days for New Year's anyway. So it literally was like January of 2020. And that was another reason why I wanted to come out of work, is because I wanted to be able to just kind of spend more time with my youngest child. Because, when you have older children, you put a lot of effort into them. And when COVID happened, or right the year COVID 2019 to 2020, COVID happened, Sydney was going to kindergarten. So now I got 2 kids, as school age kids. That didn't last because COVID happened. So now I'm back to having all 3 kids at home because of COVID, from 2020 till you guys know when. So now all the kids at home, so on and so forth. So now let's move forward to 2022, 2023. I got Summer into a preschool program, but it was only half a day. However, it was fine. I didn't make a big deal about it. It was what it was. She went to the program. She loved it. She was able to catch the bus. The bus literally came to our house to pick her up. All of the things. And it was lit. Now that I'm actually an empty nester, it's been different for me. So learning like what my schedule needs to be has been probably my biggest thing. I have been trying to do something different. Specifically this week is doing is like getting up earlier. So I'll get about 5:15, 5:30, get up, shower, brush my teeth, do my skincare routine, all of that. And then but put on like a house like outfit, leggings and t-shirt. I'll put on all my undergarments and things like that. So then when it's time for me to actually do me, once the kids leave and my hubby leave, then I can literally just get dressed and bust a move, right? And whatever that looks like. Y'all do know I'm a social media manager, as well as I create content for myself. So honestly, like by 7:55, I want to know, like I am like in the midst of like, okay, this is going to be my plan for the day. Because, or else, ain't nothing going to happen. Because what does that look like? What does that look like for me every day when I am as an empty nester? How long does it take me to get from my client to my home to pick up my daughters from the bus? That's another thing that is different this year. Is normally I pick up my daughters, I would pick them up actually from school. Overall, my schedule just changed significantly, and so now I'm adjusting to what that looks like as someone who, no one's home with me from, I don't know, from 7:25 in the morning until literally like 2:45, 3 o'clock, literally. You know, this year, hopefully, I get the hang of it soon. Because, I'm going to be honest, I like it better when I get up earlier. Just being honest, I like it better when I get up earlier. I like it when, so that means by the time my kids get up, which is like between 6 and 6:15, I'm already, not dressed per se, but I'm already showered. I'm already, my face is clean, my breath is clean. And I could just tend to them. So then literally once they leave, I can bounce. That's the whole thing for me. Like, I'm managing my house plus my business as well as my own content, which is produced by Zenny Productions as well. So Zenny Productions is out here doing their thing. And I will be obtaining more clients. At least 2 more. Okay? So yeah, I'll be obtaining clients, at least 2 more. So I'm learning how to manage that as well as manage my own thing. Being at home 10 years with children, and then 6 of those 10 years I worked. And I mean like worked for another company. Doing social media that is so flexible. I'm not saying it's not a job, but it's flexible. So now that I can focus 100%, 8 hours, almost 9 hours of my day to my brand, to myself, and building this legacy for my kids and my family, my lineage, it's a total different thing. It has definitely been bittersweet because I definitely do miss my kids, and I go into them kids mama mode at a certain time every day, unless I already have them picked up. So my son, like I told you, he get out early so he can pick them up, or I go pick them up from school, not even a bus, and bring them back to my client's location, and then my husband picks it up because then we're literally up the street from his job. Like, it's a whole thing. So I'm figuring it out. Y'all comment down below on what empty nesting looked like for you when you got to that point in life. And I know this is not like full-blown, my kids are not in the household, but again, we're talking about all day every day for 10 years, even while I was working. I'm Patra Denise, and don't forget to be good on purpose. Y'all be sweet. Smooches.